Rah! Now, be honest, you were absolutely terrified. But anyway, the other night, I sat down to watch House by the Cemetery. I came across it on streaming, and I thought I hadn't seen another 80s film for a while, so why not this one? It sounded kind of cool. I'd planned to watch it for at least a couple of nights before I actually did, but then when I sat down to actually press play, I hit a little snag. I realised at the last minute that it was a Lucio Fulci film, and I don't really get along with this guy. I've seen several of his movies and they just don't really land for me. I think the biggest problem with him, especially with his heyday, like his late 70s, early 80s, that a lot of the time it just feels like there's too much emphasis on the special effects and the makeup and the gore and things that look cool but just kind of leave me a little bit emotionally detached, whether it's sharks fighting zombies or tarantulas crawling over somebody's face. You know, great imagery, but not always stuff that's to do with the characters or the main story. And by God, The New York Ripper is such a bad movie as well. I can't forget that one. I do kind of like The Beyond, to be honest. That's all right, apart from the spiders. But when it came to House by the Cemetery, I did press play in the end, simply because I was too lazy to look around for another movie. So it was very much a case of, okay, Lucio, I'm going to give you one more chance, just because I've accidentally come across another one of your films. Let's go. So apparently this is the third film in a kind of unofficial trilogy that Fulci did. The first film being City of the Dead, if I've got that right. I think I switched that off after about 20 minutes because I really wasn't enjoying it. Is that the one where zombies get off a plane at the start and just start running around? Maybe I've got the wrong movie, I don't know. The second film is The Beyond, the one Fulci film I've actually got some respect for, and the third one is this one, House by the Cemetery. But you don't have to watch these films back to back to back. They just share similar themes and ideas. It's a bit like with Carpenter's Apocalypse trilogy, The Thing, Prince of Darkness, and In the Mouth of Madness. But let me tell you, I've never sat there watching In the Mouth of Madness thinking to myself, wow, the themes from The Thing and Prince of Darkness have really carried along nicely into this third film. I like how Carpenter has rounded this trilogy out. This is good stuff. No, I've never sat there thinking that, but people do like to take three random films from a director's filmography and make some kind of unofficial trilogy out of it. Wes Craven, he was a good director. And when you look back, I mean, he did Scream, The Hills Have Eyes, Nightmare on Elm Street. So you could say that that was kind of like his people getting murdered trilogy. There's a clear underlying theme running through those three films. I mean, I can't watch The Hills Have Eyes without thinking about Scream. And how can you watch Scream without thinking about Nightmare on Elm Street? You can't, right? They should make a box set for those three films. But getting back to House by the Cemetery, the plot for this begins with the old trope of a family moving into a new house just so they can be terrorised in said new place. And in this instance, there's clearly a killer of some description bumping the characters off. But also, there's another little wrinkle because the son, he's only like a 10-year-old boy, he has some kind of connection with a girl ghost. Presumably this girl used to live in the house that they now occupy. So there will definitely be a connection between this girl ghost and whoever's doing the killings. Maybe it is actually the girl doing the killings. Not that I ever truly believe that to be the case. Credit to Lucio, the first 10 minutes of this are actually pretty good. So the opening kill I like. There's a knife that goes through somebody's throat. You see it sticking out the front. It's violent, but we don't linger on it. There's no close-up shots of like little geezers of blood working their magic. We just see what's happened and we move on. And then not long after this, there's a scene with a portrait which has the house in it, and you see like the little girl ghost in one of the windows, and she looks really terrified. I've seen this kind of thing in horror before, where a moment of absolute terror is captured either in a picture or a photograph. It's always very creepy, and it does very well here. The trouble is, once we then move to the main body of the movie, where the family actually go to the house, things get very Fulci-ish after that. A lot of kills that are overdone and overworked. There is a good bat attack. So this guy, the main character, he gets this bat attached to his arm and it starts nibbling at him and chewing its way inside his wrist. And I don't know much about bat behaviour in real life, so I don't know if this could actually happen, whether this is realistic or not, but it felt very real. And even though the scene drags on too long, as I would expect it to, I felt a lot of tension in the air when this bat was really getting its claws into this guy's wrist. Although why he just didn't whack it against the wall at any point, I don't really know. And also, this attack, it actually involves the main characters, not just some random painter decorator on the side of the house, for instance. But there's another moment in the film, a kill this time, that kind of sums up a lot of the other kills for me, unfortunately. So I can't remember at what point of the movie it happens, but somebody gets their throat slit, and it looks pretty good. And I'm thinking at the time, oh yeah, that's nice. But then, for inexplicable reasons, the killer slits this person back the other way, and I'm thinking, Lucio. And then, before I could even process that, the killer is doing a third slit back the other way, and at this point, I'm like, Lucio! I don't think it's a spoiler to talk about what pops up at the end of this, because you can clearly see it in the movie poster beforehand. So the streaming platform I found this film, there's like a picture, which I presume is the movie poster, and it clearly has the creature in it. So therefore, I'm not going to be surprised, am I, when it turns up at the end? My reaction to this thing should have been along the lines of, oh my God, what the hell is that thing? Whoa! But actually, it was more like, ah, Mr. Skin Creature, I've been expecting you. Imagine if you were working on the film House of a Thousand Corpses. You wouldn't have a movie poster with that three-eyed thing from the basement on it, would you? It'd just spoil what's going to happen at the end. And it's the same with House by the Cemetery. Whoever did the marketing for this film made a real boo-boo there. But this creature does look pretty good, actually. And if you stab it, maggots and chicken masala will come out. But it's the slowest moving thing I have ever seen in my life. Boy, does this thing move slow. You can go and boil the kettle, come back, and it will still be shambling its way inch by inch across the cellar floor. I feel bad for these characters dying to something that moves this slow. If this thing was chasing after somebody in like a big banqueting hall or a field, it would look comically ineffective. Right at the start of this scene, the little boy is at the top of the cellar stairs and his parents are on the other side of the door, and they realise that their son is in danger. But there's not enough intensity happening for me. Like, if I was a parent in this situation, I would be going hysterical. I would be banging and kicking that door. Like, my Hulk muscles would be coming out. I'd be totally losing it. I'd be shouting and screaming. I'd turn into like a Neanderthal trying to get through this door. But these parents, they're just kind of like, we'll be there in a minute. Yeah, just hang in there, son. Is that one the master key, or is that... I'm just not feeling the fear with these parents at all. I'm not giving you direct quotes here, but they just needed to step it up a little bit. Just throw yourself into the part a bit more, for God's sake. There's a similar scene earlier on at the start of the bat attack. I can't remember whether it's the husband or the wife, but whoever's not being attacked just kind of stands there looking at the bat attacking their loved one, and they're just like, I'm going to stand here all frozen and not really do anything or react a lot. So yeah, just parts of this film with acting that's not really been thought through enough for me. The kid in this film is highly annoying, and the shame of it is that whoever they've got to play the little girl, she's actually all right. So it's frustrating that they couldn't find somebody good to play the boy. I used to think that the kid from A Fistful of Dollars was the most annoying kid in cinema history. That position, that title, is now challenged by the kid from House by the Cemetery. I didn't like him at all. There are times in this where he's wailing and carrying on, and yet he's not even in the room. Somehow he's doing it from off stage. I don't know how. It's just weird to me. But I would like to finish with a positive, and that's that there is a lot more to this story than meets the eye. It feels like a very simple horror setup at first with a kind of slight supernatural overtone, but there are quite a few unanswered questions come the end of this, and that's a good thing. I personally like to have a little bit of mystery left at the end of a horror story. I don't need to know everything, and you definitely don't know everything by the end of House by the Cemetery. For instance, you will definitely get the idea that maybe this husband has been to this house before during this for reasons unknown. And there's also the suggestion that maybe he's had something with the maid before. There's little glances that go on during this. I came across this webpage where this guy had attempted to collate lots of different questions that he had at the end of his viewing of the film, and I found it to be riveting reading. Just little things that I actually didn't notice, but then I read this guy's webpage and I thought, yeah, that's a point. What was going on with that? For example, the housemaid at one point just randomly opens the cellar door and then scuttles away. I think something like that. And you're thinking, okay, so what was that all about? And there's quite a few little things in this film like that. And so I think if you like this film, if you watch it like a second or a third time, you might start to pick up on more and more things. And the music's quite good as well. A little bit over dramatic, but I did like the main theme. Right, it's time to get to the bag of terror so I can show you my score for House by the Cemetery. Or is it House on the Cemetery? At the Cemetery? I might have been saying the title wrong for this entire review. Fingers crossed that I was getting it right. Right, here's the bag. Let's see what we've got in here today. We have 1, 2, 3 Michael Myers carving knives out of 5. As Fulci movies go, I kind of like this one. It was all right. I still say that The Beyond is his best. I think I gave that one 3.5 when I reviewed it a long time ago. This would probably be my second favourite of his, and also Don't Torture a Duckling. Maybe that's 2.5, 3 out of 5. So, okay, House by the Cemetery, if that's what the title is. Yeah, it's okay, but I'm still very much intending to have a Fulci-less rest of 2026. I really do need a rest now, and ultimately, I don't think this director is for me at the end of it all. Right, I'll leave it there. Do follow me on X and Blue Sky if you'd like to. My name there is the same as you see it here. And other than that, I will say cheerio and see you next time.